In the last 60-ish days, I've done 400,000 views across socials, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. I used this content almost about 50 hours minimum making. It's going to include 5 brain docs, 7 skills, 6 platforms, and essentially you're going to get 28 posts a week out of this. So this is ultimately how you can leverage the content game, because anyone you're watching right now is posting a lot of content, and it's easier than ever to use AI. We're going to talk about the do's and don'ts. There's a lot of bottlenecks, whether that was your team, your gear, yourself, just being in front of the camera. So it used to take a lot of time, especially research. Historically, it was slow. You had to cut the clips, you had to write captions, build slides. It was too scattered. So what I want you to do is you're going to pick a source. Now my source is video, YouTube specifically. I find I do the best on video. All right, we're working on it. It's not there just yet. But essentially, you want to have a diagram, okay? And at the top is kind of your main source, all right? Whether that's written, video, audio, does not matter. So first it reads the docs. I'm gonna show you exactly what we have in these docs here very shortly with Claude. So it's gonna read your brand Bibles. This is some of the work you have to do up front first. Have a business or you've been posting content before for a little while, you'll kind of already have your brand Bible, right? You have context, you have an idea of how you want things to look, all right? So again, that's your voice, colors, banned words, things to say, things not to say, X, Y, and Z. Then we have the content strategy. So again, if you've been posting content already, you can already look at your outliers and then go from there. I'll show you that in a second here. But these are pillars, titles, repurposing, best practices across niches, best practices across platforms. We have production SOPs, the step-by-step workflow, because again, I'm not gonna just tell Claude to make me a 1 out of 10 YouTube video. There's no context there, and it's just gonna pull from random sources. That's why if you do copy and paste someone, sometimes it works and other times it doesn't because it doesn't fit your CCN. Now, target audience, who we make it for, obviously is massive. That's part of the CCN. And then short form SOP. How's the packaging look? What do we need? Captions, X, Y, and Z, all within these docs. So this is super important. Just spend maybe an hour. Again, if you already have content, this becomes a lot more easy. We can do the full pipeline or we can do the repurpose only. So a lot of time I'm always either using sandcastles for short form or just looking around YouTube or TikTok to get ideas. Once I have the idea, then I'll kind of come into here, but I don't necessarily need the full pipeline. And then we have the repurpose only section, which is repurpose this, right? Here's my transcript. We're not trying to go for grand slams. We're just trying to go for hits. One of them will become a grand slam. All right, you need that outlier, perfect, but you need the data. You need to swing. This is the 6 phases you need to go through to ensure you have quality swings, but you're taking more at-bats. Phase 2 is the hook and script, because hook is essentially the 80-20 of all pieces of content. The record and edit, which is easy. I am now in the process of learning how to actually use this, with Descript or whatever. I'm trying to make this a lot more easy instead of me or an editor basically pulling these together. Thumbnail, basically, the thumbnail is massive, specifically for YouTube. As you can see here, my thumbnail is 3.7 over the last 90 days. My impressions, I have a lot of impressions, but no one's watching because my hooks and my thumbnails are not that great. And this used to be worse too, but I implemented the system. And then we have publish, okay? I manually just publish. You can use other tools, but I'm just doing it manually. If you do use CapCut, you actually have a feature there where you can just cross-post. Repurpose, which is really easy. So just like you have mode 1 and 2, where you can just basically use the full pipeline or just repurpose stuff, I find I'm always coming in with content at different stages, right? Sometimes I'm looking for the idea. Sometimes I already have the idea, or I just need to refine the topic. So this is great because this system allows me to just insert myself wherever I am along that pipeline. Now, the beautiful thing about the time we're in is essentially, historically, you'd either pay or do this yourself, all right? All these steps you'd have to do yourself, okay? So you'd spend hours upon hours trying to get all this information, or you would get employees to do this for you, or you'd either have to hire an agency to spend, anywhere from $4,000 to $10,000 to get this done for you. Now we can streamline a ton of that, save money, and move a lot faster. So we have our content research or skill, which is very important because ideas, again, kind of the 80-20. If you have a great idea, the packaging can be not the greatest, okay, because the idea holds a lot. We have the hook skill, 80-20, very, very important. Thumbnail skill, very important. We have our Facebook skill here. We have our X article writer here, and then we have our short form content. We have a LinkedIn skill as well. And then we just have our auto post reply guy skill. I know there's actually 8 here. Essentially 7 skills do majority of the work. But as you see, we have our content pipeline here. Okay. Now, again, these documents here are the foundation. Okay. So we have our brand Bible. All right. And just so you are aware, it consists of brand identity, platform handles. It consists of core differentiators, visual brand. It consists of tone of voice, right? We have our production SOPs, content ideation. We have hook and script writing. We have key rules. We have steps. All right, so it goes very, very in depth. We have our short form SOP. We have our content strategy. Okay, who are you talking to? So for instance, we have the overwhelmed business owner. We have the ambitious professional. We have the aspiring AI creator. And we have the core audience pain points. All right. Now, if you're watching this, you probably fit in one of those buckets. Or what you can also do is just take the audience from any social media platform that you're on and just put that in, and then you can get basically an ICP. So we have those. I want you to create those. Once you have those, the instructions and the actual description is very important, as you can see here. Now, the project instructions are important because that's what's tying everything together. So you're going to create 6, 7 skills. But if you don't have proper instructions, then this is not really going to work all too well. So when it comes to instructions, your role, again, just some best practices here. You're the content engine for myself. You power a full content pipeline, ideation, scripting, thumbnails, short form video, scripts, cross-platform repurposing, YouTube, Instagram, X, TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook. Before every text, I would highly suggest you put that in. We have mode 1, full pipeline. We have full pipeline sequence. We have mode 2, which is just repurpose only. We have some verbiage. We have some skills here. I'm trying to provide as much information to the instructions so that this project can go about what I'm trying to do. All right. So that's essentially just the project, instructions, and then your foundational document. So the project is just basically encompassing a lot of that information. But to get the actual doing of the work, that's when we come to our skills. And you can see here, I have a few different skills. As mentioned, you're going to do about 6 to 7 skills. You're going to do your LinkedIn post skill, your YouTube thumbnail skill, your short form content skill, your content research, your Facebook post, your outreach pipeline, your IG carousel. So that is how I'm making my content now. All right. I'm getting a lot of my time back and higher leverage. The goal with this system is to get 2 million impressions per month. So if you found this useful, subscribe. We're trying to grow this channel. As always, my friends, stay human. I'll see you next time.